Hello everyone, welcome back to Bedrockin Minecraft. Today we're starting off right here in the shopping district. We're going to jump right into getting our new shop built because we have some other things we're going to do today, a couple other things I want to show you, and kind of talk about what our, some more plans moving forward are for our kind of base area, not the outside, but, underneath where we've been doing some work. So let's get right to it. All right, so as you can see, the front of the building is done. It might be a little tough to see through all the particles. I don't have any add-ons currently on here or anything to get rid of it. That is the bow that you can get within the game. And then that's not the starter arrow. I went with the second one because the arrow that you get the first time has the same kind of color scheme as the bow, and I didn't want it to kind of blend in. So I thought using that arrow would help it stick out a bit, because our shop, once the interior is complete, is going to be selling tipped arrows. I've partnered up with Fiona, and we're going to be selling tipped arrows, including a special arrow that you can only get in Bedrock Edition. You see, there's an arrow that you can only get in Bedrock, and there's two ways possibly that you could get it. The first is if witch huts were spawning in Bedrock Edition, the cauldron that's in them has a chance for potions to be in it. One of them is a potion you can't make in-game. It's called Potion of Decay. It actually gives the withering effect. So that's one way. The other way is Fletchers will have a small chance of having it be their tipped arrow trade. Again, Arrow of Decay, when you hit something with it, gives it the wither effect. Only in Bedrock Edition, not Java. They have a different one. I think Arrow of Luck, and I think they might have Arrow of Slow Falling, or there's one other one that I think they have access to that we don't. Yeah, Arrow of Decay gives things the withering effect. If you happen to be watching Prowl8413, shameless plug for him, then you will notice sometimes in his Empires stream that that's the arrow he's using currently. I'm not sure where exactly he got it from, but yep, fun to try out. If you get some Fletchers, see if you can get one. It may take a few rolls and quite a few Fletchers because it's a low chance, but still pretty good to get if you can. So yeah, we're going to be selling those at a premium price. Not unreasonable, but certainly a little bit higher in here because they are difficult to get. So yeah. 8-Bit Alley, as I've kind of been referring to it to myself, is starting to come along a bit. See, it lines up right with the front there. I may add some black to the side. I don't know. I kind of like that look where it's, poking out a little bit from the background. Kind of like here. Just unfortunately, the way it all worked, I wasn't able to do that with it having line up. But I might just put some black here just to kind of make it look a little more even. I do have to add some white carpet, I think, up to there, just, to help with mob spawning. But I do have torch up there. Little things that as time goes on, I kind of figure out and remember, oh yeah, I should probably do that. So I'm going to clean up our little mess here. I do need to get some more supplies. I have the design in my creative world, and then I got to get to finishing that up, and then we'll check back in once I've got the interior placed. Okay, so the basic interior is done. We've got the shelves in place. It's kind of plain looking, but the idea is really, more focus on the arrows. And now the next thing I need to do is just grab a few things, and I want to change the floor up a bit. I think I'll go with, a mix of a few different things, make it look kind of old, maybe some coarse dirt, gravel, kind of a mix of things. Let me hide a few lighting blocks around just to, well, maybe, throw some lanterns in or something too. Let me go grab that stuff. We'll come back and see what it looks like. All right, and here we have the interior floor now all done. Just to kind of break it up a little bit so it wasn't just the, the regular stone. A little bit of texturing, hid some light blocks, that kind of thing. And yeah, we got plenty of space to have a variety of arrows. I think we'll even maybe have some bows in here. Not sure if they're going to be enchanted or not. It's a possibility. But I mean, plenty of, just plain non-enchanted bows. We have the Skelly spawner over near spawn that, yeah, I had set up the Trident Killer. So yeah, staying there for a little bit the other day to kind of get some levels, and I needed bones anyway for bone meal. So yeah, got quite a few bows that I combined to, you know, kind of fix them all up. So yeah, we'll probably have those in here reasonably cheap. They're good for a lot of different things, not just for, you know, obviously shooting arrows, but you need them for dispensers as well. So yeah, redstone component, sort of ish, one of the ingredients for one. Always good to have. That way you don't accidentally use your good bow. And I'd let Fiona know that the shop is built, so it'll just be a matter of us figuring out what's going where and how much to charge. That's going to be the interesting one. That took a little bit of time to gather the resources. So next, I'm going to go sleep up at the little house there, and then we'll head back to the base and talk about what I'm doing next. Because I've been prepping for something. I've been prepping for a pretty big build. Got a shreep. Here we are back at the base. I'll put that away later. So let's take a look. Now, the build that I have in mind for today is probably one of the biggest builds that I have, or am going to do. It's not built yet. The floor is coming along, slowly, but coming along. So, kind of a side trip. Before we get down to where the other build is, we're going to come take a look at something I made over here. Now, what might this little contraption be? This, as you can see, is a design by J-Jax the Legend. This is a charcoal farm, for all intents and purposes. Wood goes here, charcoal comes out here. I figured I might try that as a fuel source. It's a little more efficient than the scaffolding. The charcoal, each one smelts 8 items, just like regular coal. But to do that, I'm gonna need a good supply of something. And if we come down here, we will see, I have a very large area dug out that I did with no beacon, because I really didn't want to figure out where to place it and dig down. I do a lot of digging with no beacon. Yeah, I know. I don't even have one to begin with, but yeah, it's not always easy. But what I am going to be putting here is actually Silentwisperer's 5 tree farm. This should be more than enough space, both, you know, across this way and height-wise. I made sure I had plenty of room to work with. So yeah, going to be building his 5 tree farm. That way I'll be able to get whatever wood I want to toss up into there to make the charcoal, and just for other purposes, because I can go through a lot of wood at times. Let's head back up here. And we'll take a look at the storage really quick. Now, not including those, it's oak, azalea, birch, spruce, oak, azalea, birch, spruce, and I think it is jungle is the other one it can do. Like the single ones for spruce and jungle, I don't remember off the top of my head. But as you can see, I do have a good whack of oak. I did go out and gather a bunch. Don't exactly have a ton of some of these other woods. Got a little bit of a cha-cha. These are a little different. They don't grow the same. It's a much different way to do it. I'll have to look into that. Wood is a main component of all sorts of things. And as you can see, I'm kind of setting up some secondary storage over here. This is not redstone. This is just manual currently. And this is where I'm putting all the other kind of, you know, bits and bobs you get as you make stuff. Stairs, slabs, fences, that kind of stuff that wouldn't fit in what I have over here. I'm still using this for obviously the things that are shown there. But for all the other stuff, I'm going to need a lot of room. I'm probably going to put wood on this side, you know, stone here, wood there. Things like the slabs, the planks, all the little, like I said, the secondary stuff you get when you're crafting things. Could I redstone it? I mean, in theory, yes. In practice, no, not that skilled. But I do have all of the components I'm going to need, and that is not it. That's just getting out of my inventory. Along with the bazillionth. Yeah, I've only got 12 extra ones crafted up so far. That's less than I thought, really. But in these 2 boxes here, I should have all the components needed. So I'm going to come back down here, walk my way back down to there, throw in his tutorial, spend an ungodly amount of time following along with it, and hopefully by the time we come back, there will be a tree farm there. Otherwise, there will be a giant mess there. Either way, something is getting accomplished in some way, shape, or form. I just don't know if it's anything good. We'll find out. That, as the transition card said, took a ridiculous amount of time. It is, however, finally built, with a couple caveats. Let's go over those. Ta-da! Silentwisperer's upgraded 5 tree farm. As you can see, I've done a little bit, you know, with testing and stuff, and it does work. Gathered a little bit and thrown it up in the charcoal maker. Now, one thing I did notice that sort of gets addressed in the comments of the video is that since the latest update and everything, some of the timing, some things are just weird. Like even in automatic mode, sometimes, you know, you'll get the thing here. Leaves will stop things from growing sometimes, just the way things generate. I've had some logs not get pushed into the correct spot because they generated wonky with the azalea trees. So yeah, it's a touch odd. And I've noticed with the spruce and even the jungle, you know, you'll be growing them, you can get short versions of those trees, and then the leaves just kind of take up this whole space and go everywhere. It's ridiculous. So can't even see that to keep placing. You gotta stop, gotta break all the leaves. And it seems like some of those issues others have been having as well. And like I said, in the comments of his video, it's talked about briefly. I hope he kind of revisits it to maybe work out some of what those timings and stuff are fully, and see if there's any way just to stop like the leaf spam that happens and just some of the other minor issues. But it does work, as you can see. It works with very few issues, and the issues it does have are more, like I said, annoyances than anything with the leaves and such. So it's just a matter of stopping, clearing out all the leaves, make sure, you know, there's nothing in the way, and then proceeding to go forward again. But this will help us get quite a bit of different types of wood. I noticed in the comments of his video, one thing he said, because it can happen, oak trees, and I think maybe even pine, but I know oak, there's a slim chance of them spawning with a beehive on them if you were in a plains biome. So he suggested maybe not building this in a plains biome. I don't know. I honestly am not sure. No, I'm in a jungle biome. So yeah, so that won't be an issue for me. But yeah, if you happen to be in a plains biome, maybe build it slightly somewhere else. This is definitely the most complicated redstone contraption I have ever built. His tutorial was reasonably straightforward. One thing with Silence is he goes over everything and he talks about everything, which is good. For a device this big, yeah, the tutorial goes kind of a little fast, but again, to keep the video length reasonable, he kind of had to go a little quicker. You know, like some of his other videos, he'll take a little more time to explain things. But yeah, with a video for something like this, there's no way to reasonably do that without having the video be, yeah, just a ridiculous amount of time that, yeah, probably would not work too well. But that is going to come in very handy for, you know, refilling the charcoal. And then we can use the charcoal, like I said, to power the smelter. I mean, I'm going to try all sorts of different fuel sources. It's going to be a matter sort of just kind of throwing in what I have at various points. If I have lava, I'll throw the lava in. Scaffolding, I'll throw scaffolding in. Charcoal, you know, and so on and so on. Whatever, you know, gets things to smelt, that's what I'm going to use. But it does give us access to something else. And depending on, you know, how many logs we end up with, may sell some. Don't know exactly. It cannot currently, however, do the acacia logs because the timings are different. Acacia is a little bit of a pain in the butt for a lot of tree farms. Ideally, fingers crossed, hopefully at some point the devs will deem us worthy of getting the 100% drop rate from TNT, and we can use TNT powered tree farms like they have on Java. That would be absolutely amazing. Now on Java, one thing they have access to, and it's, okay, controversial kind of mechanic time. On Java, for a lot of those farms, whether it be concrete, whether it be tree, stuff like that, they use TNT dupers to power them. I am personally not objected to those because it's not like you, the player, are ending up with all the TNT. It just constantly remakes the TNT for the farm to use. And TNT using gunpowder and sand, both kind of a pain in the butt to get large quantities of. I don't mind the TNT dupers for, like, farms and stuff like that. A lot of people would rather they not exist in either version of the game. Like I said, I don't care either way personally. In the regards for a farm, yeah, no, I totally don't mind. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the drop rate for items like they do in Java. We don't get 100%. It's something like 30, 40, something that makes it pretty much not worth all the effort to go into. Hopefully, one day that'll get straightened out and we'll get that. Devs, if you know you happen to catch wind of this, please give us that. Nighttime, gotta sleep. Well, we have a minute. Why don't we go on a little field trip to the shopping district? Alright, here we are back at the shopping district. And as you can see, there's been even a little more progress. Fiona's come in, she's brought the different arrows in, filled them, you know, all the different chests with the different things that we're going to carry. We're still working on pricing. That hasn't been figured out exactly yet, so we still got to work on that. But it's one step closer. So check here. I've actually stocked some more potions. I brought in some of the other ones finally. The harder to get ones. Splash weakness. Still got a couple empty, an empty chest or two. I gotta remember what was going in those. I have to check my list I wrote up. But otherwise, yeah, we're getting pretty set here. Like I said, she's got all this stuff labeled out nice. And, let's see, so, aha. Arrow of Decay. So, yep, was able to get them. I said those give the wither effect, so that'll be pretty interesting. I'm sure there's a lot of fun mini games people could come up with using those. Or just, you know, annoying people. There's always that. Let's head back to the base and talk about a couple other things. Alright, back at the base. One thing that I know needs to get done at some point here, a few things actually. I need to finish kind of texturizing that. And if we come up here and take a look inside the castle, still no interior. I know I need to work on that. I just haven't found one that I like yet, a style that I like. So this is going to continue to be an ongoing thing here. The other thing that I think needs to get done around here at some point is a bit more landscaping, a little bit of mob proofing maybe. Lots of stuff likes to spawn around here and climb up and try and blow up and, you know, other things. Creepers love this area, I've discovered. So yeah, I really should somehow figure out how to mob proof it a bit better. I just don't know exactly how yet. Haven't quite figured it out. I have a few ideas I haven't tried yet. But, I mean, my main bit that I use is actually underneath. So the up here is mostly just for looks. And I know we still have to add some more to our little area down here. Cortezarino does have another build that I do really like the look of. He uses it as an enchantment building. I'm not sure if I might use it as that or, you know, just a different shop in general, or, you know, maybe pick one of these and change it up a little bit. I'm still not entirely sure. But we have lots of room to do stuff. I may, like I said, try and add some little sales carts and a couple other things. He has some house designs, so when we start working on the village side, we can start adding some of those. Our little path, I mean, this could use a little bit better landscaping for the path and everything, I think. I'm just not sure exactly how yet, so that's going to be ongoing. I may see if I can bring in some assistants to help with that. I'm not sure who yet, but I'll, you know, maybe throw it in the Discord and see if anybody has any general ideas. A little bit more greenery, some nice flowers. Maybe put some flower pots on the stairways here with some flowers in them. That could always look pretty nice. A little splash of color would be good. We don't use the staircase too often. I usually glide down and kind of fly jump back up. But it is a nice walk. I did make sure that it was very easily walkable. Gives us a nice view of the area. And even with kind of that 400 border, there's still a lot that we can do. I may redesign the well here. This was more for practical purposes, which I mean, I still use it, but I may redesign it a little bit just to, you know, fit the aesthetic a little better. I'm not entirely sure yet. We still have our awesome nether portal area decorated, if I can ever get over here. Yep, by our server mate Des. Still looks really good, fits right in. A little AFK fish thing over there I haven't used since I built it. Although he does have a new design that I may build elsewhere. Like maybe, honestly, I've thought of building it like kind of in the treetop there. His new design is quite a bit smaller, so it would fit somewhere like there. That would put me in a pretty safe place to be able to use it. I would just put a solid block over my head so, you know, phantoms couldn't do anything. And this is a perfectly functioning AFK fish farm, but yeah, I've thought about, you said, using his more updated one that's smaller and, you know, maybe putting it up in the tree there. But what I really need to figure out is what is the next farm that I want to build in here. So we have our potion maker, we've got a super smelter, we've got wood here. Not exactly sure where to go next. We have our basalt maker up there. I don't have a cobblestone or stone maker per se, because if I go to the other cave area, you know, where our elevator is to get down all the way down, I have that stairway that leads to level 16, and I just usually kind of strip mine currently. And yes, as you can see at the bottom of the staircase here, this leads us down into a little cavern that we've been to before. There's actually, this is the side that has our little Japanese shops and stuff on it. And this is an opening at the mountain right there. I may turn that into like a viewing platform. This is where it leads to. So we have quite a bit of room to do and add more things. I would have to maybe, you know, square this off or straighten this out a little bit. I've gone through and tried to light as much of it up as I can currently, just so we don't get these spawns at the moment, which has helped drastically. This was a mob farm and a half for a while. Got a lot of copper out of here too. Got a lot of copper I gotta fortune and smelt. But as you can see, yeah, we still got, I said, there's some dark areas to go. So this is a huge area underneath the base. Still got there, still got over there, some spots there, some spots there. So yeah, this is going to be a long time lighting up. Hopefully I'll have it at least mostly lit up by the end of the season. Would be nice. No guarantees, but it would be nice. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions for a farm that I might be able to attempt to bungle my way through, go ahead, throw them in the comments down below, because I could certainly use all the assistance on that I can. See if we can make it back up. Maybe make a slightly more official entrance. The fact that it's an open cavern there could potentially give us a lot of room to do stuff. Had I, you know, maybe this would have been better down there, but to be honest, I like the fact it's kind of enclosed in this room here and still have a lot of space I can go with things. So yeah, I'll have to spend a little time at the tree farm maybe soon, building up a little more of the charcoal that we can use for fuel. As I said, we have a lot of copper to smelt and iron. I mean, I got a fortune and all first anyways. Oh, that's going to be a chore and a half. I mean, we're talking like a double chest of copper ore. Okay, half a double chest. A little bit less than I thought, which is actually pretty nice. I think, yeah, total it was like a double chest of stuff in general. Let me, yeah, I'll just move this over there. Got a lot of coal I've got to fortune as well. Boop, boop. And 4 diamonds were from the potion shop. But yeah, I got to fortune all that, and that's not going to be fun. We need a machine that'll fortune all for us. I know we're never going to get one, mind you, but it would be nice. I think, however, that's more than enough for one episode. I think we'll call it here for now, while the birds are making mob noises at me. If you want to see how we've gotten here so far, go ahead and check out the series up in that corner over there. I think is where it'll show up. Remember to hit like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more. My name is Phoenix, and this Phoenix has got to fly. I'll catch you next time.